Meanwhile, Sean, New York's new socialist mayor, Zohran Mamdani, has got to work on his socialist revolution. Here is his new so-called equity director. It actually sounds quite racist, explaining that privately owned property would be treated more like communal property and whites would pay.
And it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have. And
Sean, she's also said that private property and kind of especially home ownership is a weapon of white supremacy, masquerading as wealth-building public policy. What is going on in New York City?
I don't even know where to start with this. This is just, if I laugh, but it's actually sad and scary that he's actually trying to do some of this stuff. I was one of the ones that thought, okay, once he gets into office, he's going to abandon all of this ridiculousness. And clearly, that's not the case. I mean, economically, it's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. And I got a D in economics, Andrew. Like I could probably buy into a lot of things. This is so ridiculous. And to do it in New York City, the financial capital of the world, of the United States. I mean, like, this is what, like, all these Wall Street guys have got to be spinning. Every educator in New York City has got to be like, did we not teach the students anything at all? Because this is an indictment on the public school system that this woman thinks that this is a good idea. And then to your first point, talk about racist. I mean, if you flip this on its head and said, we're going to do the following to black people or brown people, people would be losing their minds. I cannot believe that there's not more outrage about this. It's funny how many things in America right now, the media and the left just sort of let go by. And this being probably in the top 5 things that have happened so far this year that have just gotten a pass in terms of issues that have been worthy of discussion.
Well, I think this is just one more example that the most anti-racist people are, in fact, the most racist people you could meet. They're not against racism in principle. They just think their side should be on top. Now, there's another thing talking about race issues, Sean. Something that we see here are activists inventing more racist atrocities from the past than actually happened, as if there's a shortage of stuff for them to fulminate against. Here is American actress Pam Grier on The View talking about growing up in Ohio and seeing lynched African Americans hanging from a tree. Here she is.
And my mom would go, don't look, don't look, don't look. And she'd pull us away. Wow. Because there is someone hanging from a tree. And they have a memorial for it now, where you can see where people were and left. Mm-hmm. And it triggers me today to see that a voice can be silenced.
Now, Sean, in fact, the last lynching in Ohio was in 1937, many years before she was actually born. What's going on?
I thought the first clip was going to make me laugh. I mean, it's insane. I mean, the idea, like, don't let facts stand in the way of a good narrative, right? I mean, the idea, again, she just says this and no one objects. It's demonstrably false. And just like the economic aspect of what's going on in New York City, like, these things are just ridiculous and there's zero pushback. Now, as a guy that used to be the spokesman for the Republican Party here in America for 6 years, I would get phone calls because like little Johnny in middle school said the following, how's the party respond? The idea that these people on the left can say things, they talk about misinformation and distortion of the truth, and then they say all this kind of crap, and nobody calls him out for it except an Australian broadcaster. I mean, think about how nuts this is, that it takes going halfway around the world for somebody to call her out for the patent falsehood that she just told. No one in America said a damn thing, Andrew. You're the only one that brought this up. I mean, it's just sad and pathetic what we've become in this country, where no matter what you say in the United States, if you're on the left and you say it and it's anti-Donald Trump, it's anti, any of the policies that he's supporting, you can say whatever you want with impunity. If you're on the right and there's even a nuance of ambiguity, you're considered a purveyor of misinformation and a liar.
It's weird. She's actually written an autobiography which doesn't mention this so-called incident once, which is so weird since she claims it was so scarifying. But there you go, Sean. I mean, you know, your heart is pure. The bigger the lie, when in this sort of regard about calling people racist, the bigger the lie, the purer your heart. So there's no punishment at all. Sean Spicer, great to talk to you again. Look forward to catching up so often in the year ahead. Thank you so much.
I'm excited. What a way to kick off 2026, Andrew. See you next week. Thanks for having me.